All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success. I want to say thanks for jumping on here and hanging out with us on the live stream. For those of you guys who know the drill, go ahead and get a number thrown in the chat, a number from 1 to 102. If you guys are joining us for the very first time, make sure to say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're from. As always, we love having you guys who come back and hang out with us week after week. So if you're brand new to Site Review Tuesday, this is how it works. We're going to review 3 websites live. Each site's going to get 15 minutes per review. The third site is going to come from one of you guys in the live chat. And as always, we're going to be giving points out, but not really keeping score. And hey, if you have not submitted your site to be reviewed, I threw that link out in the chat earlier. You can click on there and go ahead and submit your site. And then I threw a question out of the day, just something I thought would be fun to start the live stream out with. If you could photograph any person, past, present, or future, who would it be? For me, it would be my grandmother, just because I would love to get a chance to spend any more time with her possible that I could. But also, when she was alive, I was not a photographer, and I would love to sit down and have that time with her and do a portrait of her. But hey, hanging out with me today, taking care of you guys in chat, we've got Katie. Make sure you show her some love. Really appreciate Katie coming on here every Tuesday and hanging out with me and helping me take care of you guys in chat. Just a few announcements really quick. Book Me. You guys have heard us talk a lot about Book Me the past couple of weeks. There is a special still going on. You're going to get 3 months of that add-on for 99 cents. So if you haven't checked it out yet, there's a link to that in the description below this video. Also, last week on Zenfolio Live, I showed you guys the COVID-19 resources blog post. That link is also in the description below the video as well, so make sure you check it out. There's lots of really cool resources on there. And then also we are doing a group training session. So if you guys haven't signed up for one of these, I definitely would recommend it. We're doing group training sessions on the new Book Me add-on. We're doing group sessions on basic selling and advanced selling. And the link to sign up for one of those sessions is, guess what? In the description below the video. And then my last announcement for the day, we're just continuing on with our challenge of challenging you guys to post something positive daily on your social media, on your Facebook and your Instagram. And hey, while you're posting that, go ahead and use the hashtag Zenfolio Photographers for a chance to get your image featured on either our YouTube channel or one of our social media platforms. So make sure that you are posting that stuff daily. Let me say hi to some of you guys in chat really quick. We've got Hashi Mendez hanging out with us. It says hello. Let's see, we've got Herb Wetzel, Craigslist, CE St. George, and Katie hanging out with us. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So let me get those announcements hid. And the first number that I see is number 99. So we're going to go ahead and get to that. Let me see which site is site 99 here. All right, let's see. Site 99 looks like it's going to be Deborah Stevenson Photography or Photos.com. So let me get that opened up really quick and I will bring that over here and we will get this started. All right, so let me bring this over here, you guys. Here we go. Let me get it sized in for us. And we'll get 15 minutes up on the clock to start this review. And like I said, if you haven't submitted your site yet, make sure you get it submitted. We're going to be doing the third review is going to come from one of you guys that are hanging out with us in the live chat. So again, make sure that you get that your site submitted so that there's a chance it will be reviewed today. All right, we're going to get 15 minutes up on the clock and we'll get this review going. All right, so starting out, let me just pull this down really quick so you guys can see that address. It's dstevensonphotos.com. Up here on the top, we do have, looks like some information right here. Not sure what all is written in there. Looks like just the title. The kind of the default Zenfolio favicon right here. So definitely, you could definitely take this little part of your logo right here, kind of crop in on it and get that up here as the favicon. And I think that would definitely look really nice and work really well. Not a deal breaker though. Okay, so starting out, I really love this opening page here. I love the logo that you have set up here. I think it's really beautiful. The colors work really great. And just some absolutely gorgeous photos that I'm seeing here. Just some absolutely beautiful photos. So we're just going to kind of look at the whole entire homepage here. So it looks like you primarily are a macro photographer located in northern Pennsylvania, specializing in photographing flowers and botanicals. So right out the gate, with a few minutes here on the homepage, I already know where you're located, the type of photography you do, and what to really expect on this website. So I think you've done a great job on that. You have some beautiful photos. Again, a very well-designed logo here. So we're just going to go ahead and kind of take a look. Now, some of these photos are kind of in different aspect ratios, which you've done a nice job at setting up this homepage slideshow so that it shows these kind of fit into this space and there's not any kind of weird cropping or anything like that. And I don't know how many photos there are on here, but I think you've done a really cool job of setting this up. I love these example photos here where you have your image kind of on a background in here. So really nicely done. Let's see, let's keep taking a look here. Just some beautiful, beautiful photos. And I love how each one kind of has an example behind it. Okay, we'll get started up here at your galleries. So we're just going to hit this little galleries drop down and we'll go to abstract blooms first and let's take a look. All right, so abstract blooms, again, with the titles up here, guys, keep in mind that these titles do matter. So the way you title your galleries in Zenfolio is going to affect your SEO. So while we title things like abstract blooms or simple things like that, you could definitely add some more room in here or add some more information in here. Abstract blooms, great for bedroom prints or wall prints or something like that. Just a little bit of extra information to really help this kind of show up in search results, and then also a caption up here, right? Talk about these abstract blooms, talk about the flowers, talk about what they're good for. Maybe they produce like a calming effect or something like that. There's lots of little space in here where you can add some text information that is just going to help this page perform better in search results and help people find these photos. Okay, so think about that kind of information to add into the title and the caption, and then you have to make sure that that caption is set to show so that people can actually see it. Another thing over here, you've done a really great job at making this really beautiful logo, and then we kind of have this strange blue colored button, and if you look at the drop down here, it's kind of, so it's very different from what we're seeing up here. Also, this kind of gray color in the drop down right here, you definitely might think about going into Theme Designer, modifying this theme a little bit to kind of match the branding that you have on your logo here. Okay, so something to think about here is just kind of opening this up in, I almost said Photoshop, opening it up in Theme Designer and modifying these to kind of match that logo up here. All right, let's see here. Let's go down and let's just take a look. Just some absolutely beautiful photos. Not overwhelmingly too many, but just some gorgeous photos. And I love the way that you have this set up. So you have this set up with the title below the image. And that's really helpful because it's actually searchable, because any text that you can actually highlight is searchable and indexable by search engines. So nice job setting that up. You do have your categories and keywords turned on. So let's see what you have in here. So you have a few keywords and categories in here. Definitely could add some more, maybe something about wall art, canvas prints, anything that you're selling, custom art, custom wall art, anything like that. You could definitely add in here the keywords as well. But at least you do have it turned on and you have some information in there. So I'm going to say great job on that. So many times I don't even see that turned on. Sorry guys, I had to mute for a cough and I didn't want to bust out your eardrums. Okay, so let's go back up to the top here and let's keep moving on through the galleries. Just some absolutely stunning photos though. All right, on this one, we'll actually click on an image. We'll see how this is opening up. We'll take a look at the client buying experience really quick. Again, kind of the same feedback I had on the previous gallery though. I can definitely add some more information in this gallery title. Also kind of the theme, thinking about the colors, making sure that your branding is consistent, keeping that color theme kind of the same across all the different elements in here is definitely something that you could kind of touch up on. And again, I'm being a little nitpicky just because I want to give you some constructive criticism and feedback on your site. It is beautiful. It's really simple and well done. These are just a few minor things that you could do to really improve things. Adding a caption, definitely on all of your galleries, adding a caption, I would definitely recommend that. Let's go down to the bottom. And I love that you have this very organized though, very simple. It's not super overwhelming. When we go into a gallery, it's very concise. There's not a lot of images that we have to kind of navigate through. You've done a really good job at organizing this. Let's see, categories and keywords. Let's just check that out really quick. And again, we have some keywords in here. Definitely room for more, but at least you have it on there, and that's what counts. You could definitely go back and add some more later on. All right, let's click on a photo here. And let's take a look really quick. So it looks like you have this set up to use the quick shop buying experience only. So nice job on that. I think that's a really easy, simple buying experience. It looks set up really well. Let's see here. So you can have keywords showing on your photos. If you go into the quick shop settings, you can actually turn the keywords on. And again, that's going to help with your searchability. Now you might want to go in there and turn it on and take a look at it, see if you like the way it looks. If you have a lot of keywords on your photos, sometimes it can appear a little cluttered. Maybe like 4 or 5 of them might be okay. But just take a look after you add keywords to your photos, go turn it on in quick shop and take a look and see what it looks like here. And make sure that you like that. Nice job setting this the shopping up though. Look at that. That's an absolutely just beautiful, beautiful photo. Just absolutely beautiful. All right, let's keep going. Let's go back and let's go on to the next gallery over here. So let's go to your natural blooms. And so far, everything is pretty consistent. So I'm probably going to have the same feedback for most of the galleries. One thing I will say is that with as few photos as you have in these galleries, you have them very limited, which is a good thing. You could definitely increase the size of your thumbnail images here a little bit if you wanted to. They could definitely be a little bit larger. But that's just kind of nitpicky as well. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is, but you could definitely go in and make them larger if you wanted to. All right. I love that you have these separated out by color. So like, there's natural, there's orange, there's pink. Really cool, just really well done. Again, same feedback. The colors right here again, the title, the caption, but just absolutely beautiful. I'm just, every gallery that I look at is just absolutely phenomenal. Just really nicely set up. Look at this, just amazing. Just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Super consistent, you guys. Notice how the site is consistent. Every gallery that I go to, we're not seeing colors change. We're not seeing options look different. It's super consistent, really easy to navigate, really simple, really easy for me to get to what I want to see. If I'm visiting this site to buy photos, I know exactly where I need to go. There's no questions. It's super simple. All right, so let's see here. And you guys, again, my internet is acting up a little bit, as with every Tuesday, it seems like. I think Tuesday must be a popular internet day in my neighborhood or something. Just beautiful, beautiful photos. Look at these. Okay, so let's go here. So one of the things that I feel like I'm missing, Deborah, is on that homepage, I did see where you had some example photos. You had some of your images taken and you had them put up as example photos where they're on like a background or something like that. It would be really cool to see a gallery of those, of maybe like example photos or something like that, where I could just go and quickly browse through those different photos and get some ideas of the different products and all of that. So that might be a gallery you might think about putting up here, but these galleries are just phenomenal. Like I could sit here and look through these photos all day long. They're just absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's go check out your ordering menu item here. Okay, and first thing here, so let me bring this down. I want to show you guys what happened. When I clicked on ordering, it did open up to a new tab. And we still have your Zenfolio navigation. So I will say that that's not necessary. This is not quite a deal breaker, but if you have a lot of links that open up to a new tab and you're not losing any navigation, it does kind of get annoying to have all of those extra tabs up here. So for this ordering option right here, this definitely does not need to open into a new tab. It keeps the Zenfolio navigation, so there's not really a reason for it to. All right, let's bring this up. Let's take a look. So here's some of those really cool example photos that I was taking about. And then it looks like you kind of describe the ordering process, talk about the products that you offer, and then right here it says contact me. So this is a really cool custom page. Great job taking on custom pages and setting them up. One of the things I would say is down here at the contact page, even though you have contact like right here and all over the place, putting in a hyperlink right here, Deborah, would be super helpful. So just go into that contact page, highlight that email, and then click the link tool and then change it to an email hyperlink. And you can actually put in a subject in there if you want. But when somebody clicks on that, then it's going to open up their email client and they can email you directly like that as well. Or you could click that and have that link to the built-in contact page if you wanted to do that. But just putting in those hyperlinks for that so to make it easier when people click on things. Okay, so let's go to your about menu and your about drop down right here. And again, I would kind of maybe think about this color on this drop down. It looks like it is probably a default theme that you modified. So you might think about going in and finding out where these kind of gray colors are, maybe bringing them back to kind of match this lighter color theme that you have going on with the green and the pink. Not a big deal, but just worth pointing out. All right. Oh, beautiful photo. Lovely about photo. I love that you're holding the flowers and you kind of have the floral shirt going on. Just a great about photo. So I love it when photographers at least have about photos there. It always makes for an awkward thing when you're looking for your photographer and you don't know what they look like. And I just think that if you have an about page on your site, you need to have at least an about photo. I would love to see an about video. I will always say that. Probably every week I say it, but I definitely would love to see about video. Here you talk about why you're passionate about what you do. But I think this is a really great about photo. Just an absolutely beautiful photo. Lots of good information in here. Again, we already know that you're in Pennsylvania, but you have it again here. So again, this is good searchable information. You talk about your inspiration. And then you have, for more about your photography or special requests, please fill out the contact form. And you do have the contact form hyperlinked right here. So great job doing that. I think this is a pretty good about page. I think the only thing you could do differently would be to do a video. But other than that, I think it's a pretty well done about page. Let's check out your contact page really quick. And then we got like a minute, 53 seconds left. Let's see if we can get into the search page. So this is the built-in contact page. Super simple. It's already set up. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is turn it on and show it. I think this is perfectly fine to use. Let's go check out your search page really quick. So the search page is a built-in page, and this does let people search. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do. You can actually link to search queries in your search page. So if you have specific things that you think people might want to be interested in searching for, you can link to those queries in the search page. If you're interested in seeing how to do that, I think I did a live stream where it was called Customizing the Built-in Search Page. Definitely go check that out. But if you're going to show this search option, you want to make sure that you have your search page set up so that it's displaying the results the way that you want. So let's just see. Let's do florals because I'm sure you probably have something keyworded in with florals. Okay, let's do flowers then. Let's see. So this is kind of the point that I'm doing is what are people going to be searching for and what are they going to see when they do that search? So flowers brought up these images. And then I have galleries, collections, photos, and videos. So you can actually turn some of these things off if you're never going to do collections, which I recommend that you never do. You can remove that collection option from even showing up. If you don't do any of video work at all and you're never going to upload a video, you can also turn that video option off. So again, go back and check out that video of optimizing or customizing the built-in search page. One of those two terms is what I use. But Deborah, thank you so much. Absolutely beautiful photos. You have set up your site really nice and consistent. It's really simple. It's easy to navigate. Just those few nitpicky things that I pointed out, but overall, I think you have a really, really well done site. Beautiful photos. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, I didn't ask before time, so why don't you guys really quickly throw out a number in the chat for me from 102 to 201. Throw it out in the chat, and that will be our next site. Okay, while I'm waiting on you guys to throw that number out, let me see if there's anything I can talk about here in chat. Hey, V Tran is hanging out with us. Hey, V, thanks for jumping on here and hanging out with me. Let's see. Beverly says, Robert, why not use collections? Collections can get you in trouble really fast, Beverly. I actually talked about collections on the previous live stream. But what collections will do is they allow you to show photos that exist in different galleries all in one place. And the problem with using a collection is that you're going to result with a collection that has a bunch of photos from different galleries that have different settings applied to them, and you can't actually independently change those settings within the collection. And so you might create a collection that you're going to share with somebody. All of a sudden they go into that and they see a bunch of photos that has asterisks all over it, or different price lists, or different settings. That's because every image in a collection carries the settings from its originating gallery, and you cannot change it independently in the collection. You have to go back to the image in the gallery and change it. And so they can cause some quick issues that way. All right, let's see. The first number that I saw was Sharks408. He said site 131. So let me go and grab that site really quick. Don't forget, you guys, if you have not submitted your site yet, there is a link in the video description to submit your site. The next site that we do after this one will be one of your guys' live sites. So if you have not submitted it yet, make sure that you get that site submitted. All right, let me go ahead and just paste this link over here so I don't actually have to resize the window. And the next site is going to be ahurstphotography.com. So ahurstphotography.com. I will throw this link out in the chat really quick. I should have done that earlier with the other one. Let me see. Do I still have her link up somewhere? Let me throw this other one out in the chat just so you guys have that link too. Here we go. There we go. So those are the links to the two sites that we just reviewed. And this is the one that we're about to do now. Let's get 15 minutes up on the clock and we'll just go ahead and get started here on the homepage. So again, this is ahurstphotography.com. And right out the gate, I can tell right up here by looking at this, it says Louisville and SO, Indiana. So right out the gate, I know the type of photography, and I also know where you're located because of the information here. And then it's also down in here as well. So great job setting that up. You also have a favicon set up. The favicon is kind of small. It's kind of hard to see. I'm assuming that it's the same logo right here. What you might think about doing is, because of the size limitations of that favicon, you might think about removing the text off of this logo, making this a little bolder, cropping in on it, and then just using that kind of splatter as your favicon up there. Again, favicons, you guys, aren't really a big deal at all. It's something that's very rarely seen, but if you think about when you're browsing the web and you have multiple tabs open up, that favicon does let you know really quickly, okay, that's that site, and this is Google search, and this is Google Sheets, because you can see that little favicon up in the top window. Okay, so let's start off here. And guys, I'm probably going to end up muting again. I got an itchy throat, so if I mute, I'm just trying not to blow your eardrums out. I'm perfectly fine, though. I don't have anything, so don't worry. Just have an itchy throat. We spent a lot of time outside this weekend and around a campfire, so kind of feeling the repercussions of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. We know right out the gate what type of photography you do, the location, so great job there. Big win on the homepage here. Also, your contact information is right up here. Some really beautiful photos so far from what I'm seeing. And you're using this, it's called a photo strip. So the benefit of a photo strip is you can show portrait-orientated images mixed with full screen or landscape-orientated images, and it will all fit on the homepage without any cropping. So for those of you guys who use a full-screen slideshow for your homepage, you might notice sometimes your portrait-orientated images get cropped off. That's because the full-screen slideshow doesn't work really well with portrait-orientated images. It's designed to fit your monitor. That's where you want to use a photo strip like this. As you can see, it's force-fitting these portrait-orientated images to actually fit in here without any cropping. The only downside is that it is a manual slider, so it does require some interaction from your visitors. Might not be a bad thing, but it's it's what you need to use if you want to use those portrait oriented images. So some absolutely beautiful photos. I'm seeing exactly what I would expect to be seeing from your description. Family, child, high school, senior, maternity, and engagement portrait photographer, and some absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous photos here. Just absolutely beautiful. I'm not seeing a bunch of repeat stuff, so I'm definitely seeing a very, looks like strategically selected variety of your photos, and I think you've done a great job of picking these images out for your homepage. They're absolutely beautiful. I don't know how many we have. This one looks like it might be set to private, so you might, oh, nope, it just hadn't loaded yet. There we go. Okay, I don't know how many you have. I have been scrolling for a little bit, so you might want to think about cherry picking these down just a little bit, because I always say this, we don't want people hanging out here on the homepage scrolling through these images, right? We want to see enough images that you've convinced me that you're a talented photographer so that I can begin progressing through your site, which hopefully leads into me booking you as my photographer. All right. So let's go ahead and just follow this path that you've kind of set up for us. So let's go to your galleries and let's go check out your high school seniors. All right, and I want to show you guys what kind of happened. This is a new tab, so I clicked on the galleries, high school seniors. It did open up to a new tab. I didn't lose any of my Zenfolio navigation, so there's not really a reason for that to open up in a new tab. And if more links, I'm going to leave this open because if more links open up in a new tab, which I kind of have a feeling they might, you guys will see why I say this all the time. Don't have your pages open up in new tabs unless they're leaving your Zenfolio account. If it's leaving your Zenfolio account, then you will want to open it up in a new tab. That way they don't lose your navigation of your Zenfolio site. Okay, so let's just take a look here. We have high school seniors. You can definitely add some more information in these gallery titles. So I'm always going to say this, you guys. Gallery titles, don't think of them for you. Think of them as a way to tell clients what's in the gallery, but also as a way to tell Google what's in this gallery. High school seniors isn't a bad start, but this could say high school senior photography portfolio, India, I forget where you're at, Louisville, high school senior photography portfolio. So just a few extra words you can add in there. And then again, adding in a description here. Okay, adding in a caption. That caption is going to help this show up in search results. You could talk about the specific high schools that you work with. Maybe you work specifically with certain high schools in your area. Maybe there's some favorite locations that you like to go do these shoots at. Maybe there's specific sports, specific teams. Think about the information that high school seniors and their parents are going to be searching for to find a photographer, and then talk about that a little bit in your description and in your caption up here. All right. Again, beautiful images. Now this is a portfolio and we do have the select photos button on. So I am going to ask, what are we selecting photos for in a portfolio? Are we selecting them to add to favorites? If we are, that's perfectly fine. Is there a reason to have favorites in a portfolio gallery? What do you guys think in chat? Is there a reason to have a favorites feature in the portfolio gallery? Curious to know what you guys think. All right, let's keep moving on though. You do have the share button, so I definitely think this is great. This lets people share this gallery out to their social media. Now, it's really important to understand how this works. They're not going to be able to share the images out. They're actually going to share the link to the gallery out so that when somebody sees it on their Facebook and they click on that link, it's going to bring them back to your website, which is a good thing. It's going to be sending traffic your way. So it's great to have this set up. I think this is perfectly fine. And I much prefer this over the share button and the social media icons that kind of hover over the images whenever you hover your mouse over them. So great job setting that up. Let's scroll down. Let's take a look here at your photos. Just some absolutely beautiful photos. Really beautiful photos. Again, my internet's kind of loading slow. And one thing to think about here is the number of photos that you have in your gallery, right? If your client has slow, struggling internet like mine, sometimes they might see a little bit of lag or something like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you are cherry picking your photos, making sure that these are the best current representation of your work. All right, because maybe the ones that appear at the top, maybe they're a little older photos, and maybe it's kind of time to replace these and update these with new ones. Not that I'm saying that. I think that all these photos are beautiful. You might want to cherry pick them just a little bit so that it's not so overwhelming. It doesn't take so much scrolling. but these are some absolutely gorgeous images. Let's go to the bottom. Let's see if we have categories and keywords. So no categories and keywords added down here. So even if you have categorized and keyworded this gallery, these images, none of that information matters at all because search engines can't see it. You have to have that little categories and keyword box turned on for that information to be shown to search engines so that they can index it and rank your site accordingly in search. All right, let's click on an image really quick. Just curious to see where it opens to. I thought this really cool golf image up here. I thought this was a really clever photo. Let's go back and find it really quick. Let's see, where is it at? Did I pass it? Did I pass it, you guys? I might have passed it. All right, where is the golf photo? I know I saw it. Did you guys see it? There it is. I thought it was a cool image. Okay, so this is opening up in dim the lights mode. I think that's perfectly fine. There's not really a reason for this to open up to a quick shop or a buying experience. This is a portfolio, and this is a really nice way for people to view your portfolio because once they do this, they can actually navigate with their arrow keys between their images like this. And it's just a nice clean view. So great job having that set up. Again, you have some beautiful, beautiful photos on here. Just some absolutely beautiful photos. Now, one of the things that I did notice too is when we left the homepage here, we kind of have this blue theme going on. Or maybe I'm a little colorblind, but I think that's kind of a bluish gray. You guys let me know in chat if I'm off on the color there. But once we get here, it turns kind of more gray. And so I would kind of like to see that blue color kind of flow into here, keep that color consistent. But let's just keep moving on. Let's go to your kids and toddlers. And again, you guys, let me bring this down. So we do have another tab opened up right here. Not really a reason to. Again, we're keeping all of our links here, so there's not really a reason for this to open up in a new tab, but I just want to point that out. Okay, again, some absolutely beautiful photos. Now, I'm seeing a buy button in here, a create a book, a share, a select photo. So there's a lot of buttons in here that I didn't see in the previous gallery. That buy button does only show up if a photo in here does have a price list applied to it. So if a photo in here has a price list applied to it, then that buy button is going to show up. So these are some extra options here that I'm not quite sure what they're showing here for, but let's just go ahead and take a look. So again, thinking about the way you title things, if this is a portfolio gallery, adding more information in the title, adding a caption. Let's see how many images we have here. Again, those are some absolutely beautiful photos, you guys. Just absolutely beautiful photos. Again, slow internet on my side, taking a little bit to load some of the photos. But let's go down to the bottom. I don't see any captions or keywords at all right here. So again, that's not really coming into play. And it looks like maybe some of these photos, I think that was in the senior portfolio earlier. So I don't know if this is a collection or something, but you definitely might think about the photos in here and checking on and making sure that they're all the photos that you want to be in here. Let's click on a photo really quick and let's see. So far, I'm not seeing a price list, but because we are seeing that buy button, that means that there is at least one photo in here that does have a price list applied to it. Again, some absolutely beautiful, beautiful photos. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's go to galleries and let's check out your families. All right, you guys, let me bring this down. Again, a new tab. So we're at 4 tabs open right now. We're going to keep moving. Probably going to have a lot of the same feedback. The title, the caption. Again, we do have some of these extra buttons on here that we didn't have before. So just making sure that these are things that you want to show. Like if this is your family photography portfolio, I'm not quite sure if somebody's going to be coming here and creating a book from photos of different people's families. Maybe somebody is. What do you guys think? This is probably something that I would turn off though in this gallery at least. Okay, let's keep going down. Just some beautiful photos though, absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure I'm going to have the same feedback, no categories and keywords. And here's something, again, not a lot of information for Google to index your site, to really understand what it's about and to rank it accordingly. Okay, let's go on to your pricing and portrait sessions. Okay. Again, you guys, we're at another tab. So every link that I've clicked on so far has opened up to another tab, just to point that out. Okay, so pricing for all general portrait sessions, including family, immediate, children, tween, engagement, and maternity. Okay, so this is a custom page. And one of the things I want to show you here is that while this looks like text, this is actually an image. Because if I try to highlight that text, I can't highlight it. And why am I telling you that? Because Google can't read that text. Google just sees the image. And so if you come back into this custom page and you take this nice header image that you've created here and you crop it and you just show that header image, but then you set up the rest of this as actual text in the custom page that you typed in, you might not be able to get it as nice and as fancy as you have it here, but you will be able to get it pretty close. But search engines will then be able to index it, which means they'll be able to find this page. And again, more information that they can read, that they can find, will help you rank better in search results. And so when you're creating pages like this, I know as photographers, we are like, oh man, I'll just design it in Photoshop and then make an image and throw it up there, because that's what we're used to doing. But if I'm Google, I can't read this information, so I have no idea what this page is about other than the information that's in the image. So something to think about. All right, let's go to your seniors. And again, opening up in a new tab. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs now. Okay, so far, again, every single link that we've clicked on has opened up into a new tab. Now this looks like it's actually text that's been written in here, so great job doing that. Same thing down here, we have some nice text in here. That's what I want to see, is that text actually put in here. Now down here you have the image done again. I think for this setting it's okay because you have a lot of this image or this text already in here as actual text. So I think this is probably fine. This is not really important stuff, but again, any text is going to be helpful to your SEO. And I think if you guys will notice, okay, watch this. So when I left this page, and I know we're running out of time, when I left this page and I clicked on that other link, look at the theme right here, okay? And also if you look right up here, you're going to notice that there are some site menu items that we don't see on the other one over here. So this is using a different theme that's using smaller fonts that gives more room. So again, you want to try to keep things consistent, use the same settings, the same theme, so that everything is consistent across your site. Overall, I think you have a really cool site. You definitely have some beautiful images, but you really want to come back and take a look at your site menu and really decide, is it necessary for all of these? Let's see if they all do it really quick. I know I'm about out of time, but let's see if they all do it. Is it really necessary for every single site menu item that somebody clicks on my website to open up in a new tab like this? Oh, that one didn't. So there was one that didn't. So every single site menu item that I clicked except for one opened up in a new tab. Again, I'm not trying to shame you on this. I'm just saying, think about this from a visitor's perspective. And if they were clicking on here and then the next thing they know, they have this many tabs opened up, that's going to be slightly annoying. So just to think about that, think about when you should really use that open in a new tab feature and when you should not. All right, thank you so much, everybody who submitted their site. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we will be back to review one of your guys' sites live in the chat. So I'll be right back in just a second.
Hello, Zen friends. Katie here from Zenfolio's customer support team. Thank you for joining us for Site Review Tuesday. If you are here for our live broadcast, you may already see me right over here in YouTube chat, ready to help with any questions you may have. For those of you watching the recorded version of our broadcast, you can submit any questions that you might have in the link below in the video description. You can also submit your own site for our review in the links below. Also, if you love us as much as we love you, please be sure to click the like button on this video and subscribe to our channel for lots of great info on managing your Zenfolio account and customizing your site. We're so grateful to have these pre-submitted user sites. Now let's take one of your live submissions. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for watching.
All right. Thank you, Katie. Don't you guys love Katie hanging out with us every Tuesday? She does such a great job. I appreciate her so much. She's always just hopping on here, taking care of you guys, answering questions, helping me out, keeping me in line. I really appreciate her hanging out with us. Okay, the live site that we're going to be, or the site from you guys that we're going to be reviewing today that was randomly selected is, hopefully I say this right. If I get this wrong, you can definitely make fun of me in the chat. I'm always for being made fun of. So let's go in here, and it's going to be, is it Key Photo? If you're still on, is it Kai or Key? Let me know in the chat. But here we go. So we're going to go ahead and get 15 minutes up on the clock, which means I'll have about 5 minutes when we get done. I'll try to answer some questions if you guys have any. But let's go ahead and get started on this review here. Okay. So first of all, I like the logo. I think the logo is really cool. It almost looks like there's like a fold on the K up there. So that's just really cool. It's really nice and contrasty. It's really simple, but it really stands out. I do think it would be cool to get these, your like site menu items to kind of match that orange, that orange color. So maybe pull in the RGB values or the hex color from that orange right here and getting them on these site menu items. Although you might have already tried that and it might have been hard to read. So not sure just due to that, but something I would definitely try. Let's go ahead and pull this down really quick. Let's see, right up here, you do have the really easy, nicely done favicon right here. And if you guys see this, I already know they do weddings, events, and they're in Costa Rica because hovering over this right here, it says that right up there at the top of that, which if I was doing a search, that's actually the title of the site. That's what shows up in those search results as well. So great job getting that set up. That looks great. The images on your homepage here are rather beautiful. Let's see. Look at this right here. That's just a super interesting wedding photo. I think this photo is really beautiful. I'm not sure that I would lead with that image. This is one of the few times that I'm going to talk about photos. I think that this is a beautiful photo. Not sure that's what I would lead with. These images are being shown in the order that you have them set up in the gallery. So you might want to think about coming in here and organizing these a little bit, making sure that you're leading with some really strong photos. Unless this one has like some specific significance that I'm unaware of. I definitely think there are some strong images in this gallery for sure that you can move up to top. This one is really, really cool. These are all great, beautiful, beautiful photos. Really nicely done setup and homepage. You have your location information again right down here. So all of that information is going to help search engines find you. People who are looking for wedding photographers in Costa Rica, that information is there so they can see this information and search engines can index it. All right, let's check out your services first. So let's go to Weddings Basic. And let's see here. Okay, so I am not going to be able to read any of this unless I have Google translate it. So hopefully Google does a good job of translating it. And I'm just not up here reading a bunch of gibberish because of a bad Google translation. But let's see. Basic package. This package covers up to 16 wedding coverages and the following details. Okay, so this is cool. This is a lot. Wow, look at this. Look at that cake photo, you guys. Who's hungry for wedding cake right now? Not for a wedding, but for wedding cake. I'm definitely hungry for wedding cake now. Let's see, the weight. Look at this. This is really cool. Nicely done. Really, really cool. Custom page. Just a great job on this custom page. It's got the text actually written in here. It kind of reads down like a story. See, this is what I like, okay? I want to really point this out because I see a lot of information pages where it's a few images and then a bunch of text to read through. And it might just be the way that my brain works, but my brain says, man, a bunch of text, I don't want to read all that. But if you show me pictures in between the text, I'm like, oh, storybook. Yes, let's keep going. And so this reads like a story. There's some images, and then it talks about the weight, some photos of the waiting right here. Just absolutely nicely done. The wedding, images of the wedding. So a lot of information on this page broken up between images. And again, it's reading like a story. So I'm super engaged in this and interested. I want to keep looking down and reading it. So great job setting this up. Let's see. I'm hoping that we get to a call to action. All right, right here. So click here for pricing or updated pricing information here. So that is a little confusing. If I click here for pricing, am I going to see the updated pricing? So that might be one thing that you want to look at right here. And again, that might be a bad translation on Google's part because it does say something here that looks a little different. But if I translate this to English, it says click here for pricing information, updated pricing here. So I think this is supposed to say click here to contact me or to inquire about pricing. And then this is updated pricing information here. So let's take a look. It looks like both of these are going to the contact page. So I'm not sure if that was the exact desired action. Maybe you want to come back and check that link. If this is the desired action, maybe you want to rephrase that a little bit because it kind of feels like a little bait and switch, or it's like, oh, click here for pricing information, but you're not really going to give me pricing information. I have to contact you first. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just want you to tell me that's what you're doing before me being like, whoa, I thought I was going to see where pricing information was. Like, I don't like it when websites do that to me, when they're like, oh, click here to see this, but first you're going to give me information before I give you the information that I told you I was going to give you. So just something to think about. All right, let's go back to your services and let's take a look at your wedding intermediate. And again, we are having to do a translation, but it looks like in this package, the hours are unlimited and also the following services are added to the basic package. So if we go here, where does this take me? So this goes back to the basic wedding package. Very cool, very nicely done. And again, it's reading. Look at this. Some absolutely beautiful, beautiful photos right here. Just gorgeous. Lots of fun. These custom pages are really nicely done. One of the things that I would state is I'm not sure how I feel about the services being shown before the portfolio. So that's something I would definitely think about, is maybe swapping these spots, because as a visitor, then I would probably like to see, not that these don't have nice examples of your photos in there, because they do, but I want a very focused place like this. I'm assuming is going to be where I can see this. Okay, so let's go to portfolio and weddings. And then the way I capture the wedding is in documentary style. I love storytelling on that special day in a natural way, covering every detail that the couple tried so hard to plan. So I think this is great. Again, this is a group page, so thinking about the way that you title the group page, Costa Rica Wedding Photography Portfolio, something like that, rather than just the word wedding as the group title. And then in here, in this caption, I think you've got some really nice words here, but one of the things that I would think about is, what are people going to be searching for? Are there specific venues in Costa Rica that you are a preferred wedding photographer at, or that you just enjoy photographing, or that you just photograph that's worth mentioning? Like some of my favorite venues to photograph weddings are blah, blah, blah because of this, and blah, blah, blah because of this and that. So now, not only are you hitting in the search engines for people looking for a wedding photographer, but now you're potentially showing up for people who are searching for wedding venues. And then if you have photos of those specific venues, reach out to them, let them know, and see if they'll link back and forth so you guys can get traffic to each other. That's going to help your SEO as well. And you can do all that in these captions. All right, so it looks like you have your wedding portfolio kind of broken down into different categories. We're going to go through this pretty quickly because we do only have like 7 minutes left. So let's check out your details. All right, so details, these are all the detail shots. This is really cool. Really nicely done. The one thing I would say is that, and I guess it's not too bad, it almost does defeat the purpose of this drop down. Maybe what you might want to do is make wedding portfolio its own drop down, so that then you could link directly to each one of these categories, instead of your visitor having to click on the category and then click back and then choose another category. You could just have wedding portfolio as its own drop down and link directly to those categories, speeding up the navigation of your visitor, letting them see the things that they want to see quicker and faster and more direct. All right, some really cool images here. So really nicely done. At least you are writing a caption in here, so I think that's great. But again, think of this stuff for search results, right? Think about location information, wedding photographer, Costa Rica, specific venues, specific places. that kind of thing. You want to have that information in your captions up here. All right, let's see. It looks like you do have categories and keywords. Nice job setting that up. And some absolutely beautiful, beautiful images. Again, just beautiful photos. Let's go check out, we'll check out one more of your wedding portfolios. Let's go down to, photo booth too. So it looks like you have photo booth services, and I wasn't even really aware of that, but really cool. But let's check out one more of your wedding galleries here. Let's see. Let's check out the wedding. So let's actually see the ceremony photos. All right. Beautiful photos. I would definitely think about coming in here and making these images a little bit larger, maybe cherry picking some of these, anything that kind of looks like a duplicate that looks the same. Like these two images right here are pretty much the same. You could kind of remove those out. I'm going to say that for portfolios, I would prefer quality over quantity. And not to say that this work isn't quality, but if you go back and you really cherry pick these images and you're like, okay, I have 3 photos of the ring right here. So out of these 3 photos, which 2 are my favorite? Let me get rid of one. That gives me more space in the gallery. And as I start thinning those images down, I can start making them larger so that when somebody goes in here, they're presented with a little bit larger images. And it just has a stronger effect than these kind of smaller thumbnails. The images obviously are going to look better the larger you can view them. So something to think about there. Okay, let's see. Let's go back. Let's look at one more. We'll do the venue, and this one will be pretty quick. I'm sure most of these are set up consistent. It looks like you have the caption going on. Great job there. You have the keywords turned on. So again, just kind of the same feedback, maybe making these images just a little bit larger. Let's see what happens when we click on one. So this is opening up to dim the lights mode. Again, my internet is being rather slow, you guys. It's really taxing on my internet when I live stream. So when I live stream, I have a thing off to the side where I can literally watch my internet bandwidth kind of wobble back and forth. And it's super taxing when I live stream for some reason. Okay, let's go check out some more portfolios. Very cool wedding photos. I like that you have your wedding portfolios sectioned off in galleries. Those different galleries, I would just maybe think about making that as a wedding portfolio drop down on its own. And if you're going to have all of these kind of set up like this, then maybe you want to think about having some of those as their own standalone drop downs. Now you might have to do a little bit of compromising because you don't want to have too many site menu items, then they can get lost. But it would make the navigation a little bit easier and faster for people. So let's see, photo shoot and the party. Let's go check this out. Let's see here. It's usually done in the location where photographs are taken with the quinceañera wearing her dress. Absolutely beautiful photos. Just lovely, lovely photos. Again, watching the images here, it looks like maybe these are 2 different images, but you definitely don't need to have both of these in here. You could definitely cherry pick these just so that you can present your images larger. They'll take up more space. You will be showing fewer photos, but they're going to have a better presentation that way. Just some beautiful photos though. Absolutely beautiful photos. You've got the caption in there. You got the keywords and the categories really nicely done, setting that up. Beautiful photos. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's check out your events really quick. All right, we got different events here. Let's go check out your artistic events. After this one, I'm going to check out the blog and the clients because I don't think we've got to a blog yet today on Site Review Tuesday. So let's see. Everything is super consistent. Great job at your consistency. Every page that we go to has the same setup, the same theme, the same colors, the same options. Really good job keeping it nice and consistent. Let's go check out your blog. We've got like 1:38 seconds left. So let's see here. So it looks like we've got 1 blog post. I can't see the date. So here's where I'm going to say, are you blogging consistently? If you're blogging consistently, and this is just you haven't had your site for very long and you're blogging at least at bare minimum, at least once a month, I'd rather see once a week. Are you blogging consistently? If you are not blogging consistently, maybe think about removing that blog menu item and giving yourself some room for another drop down. right? Because that's taking up pretty precious real estate that you could have another drop down like for your wedding. So you can have a wedding portfolio drop down where they can navigate quickly to those different galleries. So different things like that to think about. Let's check out your about page really quick. All right. So I would love to see a photo of you here. Again, I feel like it makes for an awkward meeting when you don't know what your photographer looks like. I think with weddings, it's a little different because you're probably going out and doing a consultation and all that stuff. But as photographers on our about page, I think we should definitely have a photo of ourselves. I know for me, one of the reasons that I became a photographer is because I hated being on the lens side of the camera. I hated having my photo taken. And I thought, well, if I become a photographer, I'll never have to have my photo taken. But it is really important that you do have a photo of yourself here on the About page. Overall, I think you've got some wonderful images, very consistent setup site. Just those few things that I mentioned, maybe thinking about the menu items a little bit. Where can you change things up to where you can make that navigation a little easier? But really, really nice site, really cool site. Thank you so much for submitting that to us for review. All right, let's see. We've got like 4 minutes left. What are you guys talking about in chat here? So did anybody answer my question of the day? We've got a few minutes left. Anybody answer the question of the day? If you didn't see the question of the day, if you scroll back up to the top of the chat, it's up there at the top. But basically I just said, hey, if you could photograph any person, past, present, or future, who would it be? My answer was my grandmother. The reason I say that is because I lost my grandmother fairly early, and she didn't know me when I was a photographer. And quite honestly, she didn't really know me when I was a good human being. And I hate that she never got to see the progression that I made in my life. And if I could go back and do anything and photograph any one person, it would be my grandmother, just so that she could see the progression of my life and she could see that side of my life at least once. So that was my answer. If you guys have an answer, throw it in the chat. Would love to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see if we have any questions that I can answer really quick. We've got like 3 minutes left. Let's see. I know I answered the one about collections, so I think we're good on that one. Let's see. Oh, we got a question from, and this is probably the only question I'll be able to get to, but it's from, nope, not that question. Let me see. My questions doc is not refreshed, so I'll just read it. Sharks408 says, for keywording, is it okay to have a singular and a plurals like shark and sharks? Typically, I would not recommend that. Google does have some information on what they consider keyword stuffing. And I'm going to see if I can't copy this link and throw it to you guys in the chat. But you want to be careful with your keywords. You want to be diverse, but you want to make it seem like you're not trying to take advantage of that. You want to make sure that you're keywording, for lack of a better word, ethically, right? That you're not trying to stuff a bunch of stuff in there just to take advantage of a keyword. And so here's a link right here I'm going to throw into the chat for you guys to check out that talks about keywording and Google's kind of recommendations and all of that. Okay, let's see. I think that's going to be all the time for questions I have. Let me see if I have another question that I can get to really quickly. I don't think I do have another question I can get to really quickly. So, hey, a couple things really quick. If you guys have not checked out Book Me yet, why haven't you checked it out yet? It's really awesome. Like I said, right now, you can get 3 months for 99 cents. Click on the little Book Me thing right here if you haven't already. If you haven't, if you're not sure where to find Book Me, if you're like, he keeps talking about Book Me, but I don't know where it is, you need to hover over your name, click on Account, and then you're going to go right here to add-on services. Click visit that. That will take you to where you can get that Book Me add-on, or you can go down and click the link in the description below. Okay, so that's an option as well. Okay, let's see. Bernardo says, what would be the most important 3 bullet point items for SEO? The most important 3 bullet point items for SEO would be alt tags, probably gallery titles, and then the last one would probably be either captions or keywords and categories. So those would, I think, would be the three important things. Hey, Bernardo, if you'll go onto our YouTube channel and do a quick search for optimizing your gallery for search, there's a really good video that really deep dives into the topic of SEO. So I would go check that out. All right, you guys, unfortunately, we are out of time today. I do want to say thank you so much to all of you guys who hung out with me today. Let's see, Beverly, Gustavo from, from Costa Rica. Let's see, Hachi Mendez. I know I ask every single week. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Lynn, Herb, Bernardo. Let's see who else we have on here. I want to make sure I give it. Heather Skillman says, I'm in creating a new site, so not ready for review at this time. Well, good luck, Heather. Hopefully soon you'll get that site on here where you can review it. And I know you're going to have a great looking site. Let's see who else we have on here. Brenda, Luke, Sharks408, and one more shout out. Who else do we have here? Somebody that I haven't said yet. Hector Rivera. Hey, thank you guys so much. Anybody that I missed, Craigslist, anybody that I missed, thank you guys for hanging out with us. I really appreciate you guys coming on here every week. I hope that these reviews help you guys. Again, we're just trying to make sure that you understand how to use Zenfolio to its full potential, giving you some constructive feedback on your site, helping you make it better, easier to navigate. Don't forget, you guys, we have Zenfolio Live coming up Thursday. This Thursday, we are going to be talking about how to utilize multiple price lists to make more money on your special edits. So if you do any kind of artistic editing, this Thursday is going to be a Zenfolio Live that you don't want to miss. Until then, I hope that you guys have a great week. Do something nice for somebody. Tell somebody something good about themselves. Encourage somebody. And I'll see you guys again on Thursday.